Yesterday, I did a post about Donald Trump's recent speech at the NRA and the racism and xenophobia that he invoked while there. And a lot of it was focused on him targeting immigration and immigrants, and particularly Latinos. This response is arguing that it's not about race, it's about immigrants being freeloaders. Let me start by saying that some cities do provide assistance to asylum seekers and migrants because it's an economic boost to the city. But those benefits are often temporary, a few months, 6 months tops, because by then most migrants are already working. And no, they're not freeloaders. They don't get federal benefits or anything like that. They actually work. And let's face it, immigrants can't simultaneously be lazy and take your jobs. Come on now. But on the issue of race, yeah, it's absolutely racism. There's not a coincidence that after this came out, that Latinos outnumber white people in Texas, that the xenophobia and the Latinophobic rhetoric coming from the highest offices in the state started to ramp up. And it's not a coincidence that that rhetoric has become more and more violent in nature. And it's also not a coincidence that neo-Nazis and white supremacists are all taking sides with you guys, just like the Active Club group out of California came down here to meet with the convoy so they can start a civil war. This right here is an old tactic that racist white people have been using against black people for centuries. And I say this all the time, that everything white people have ever done to black people, they're trying to do to other non-white groups now. Because up until the early 1900s, race issues in the United States were strictly black and white. That's why you had Arabs and you had Latinos trying to classify themselves as white because there was only those two categories. But since those categories started to get broadened, that's when we started seeing presidents say in the early 1900s that hyphenated Americans aren't Americans. Get it? African Americans, Latino Americans, Asian Americans. Yeah, it's absolutely about race. And there's nothing you can say that'll change it. We know, you know, let's address it because the issue isn't going to solve itself.